Yo guys, welcome back to Leadfoot TV. So today, for the first time in a long time, I'm going to be doing a video on my Skyline. Yo guys, welcome back to Leadfoot TV. So today we're going to be doing some work on the Skyline. I have got an intercooler to go onto the front. Basically, we're going to mount the intercooler up onto the front so that I know if the bumper or anything needs cutting before we spray it. So I'm going to get that mounted today, and Greg is going to be doing some work on the arches. Basically why I've been a little bit absent recently is because I've been like switching jobs. So I'm actually working here now at the body shop. So hopefully we're going to get a lot more progress done on the Skyline, and yeah, I'll show you around it and show you where we're at with it and what the plan is. So as you can see, it's a little bit stripped down at the moment. I've test fit the wheels on it. So at the moment I am running these Barramundi 11s, which yeah, are 16 by 8.5, and I've got some 20mm spacers on the back. Running Yokohama Advan RS, what are they called? 8008 RSs, sorry. So yeah, they're the tyres I've gone for. I didn't really have a lot of choice, to be honest. They were pretty much the only track tyre I could get in 16s. With the coronavirus going on, there seemed to be like a random shortage of track tyres. So they were the only ones I could get, but to be honest, they probably would have been the ones that I've chosen. The car's jacked up at the moment, which is why the fitment looks absolutely horrendous. But Greg has been working on these arches, so we're making some custom arches. They're not finished yet, so excuse the messy welds and stuff. It's kind of like a little bit of a mock-up. So yeah, the original arches, they've been flared out at the bottom. Well, flared out all the way up, and then we've put this vent into the wing. So today Greg is going to crack on with doing the other side. So we've cut that side ready to go. That's going to get flared out and then put the vent in and everything like that. I am going to take the front bumper off, and we're going to mount this front mount intercooler. So I bought this intercooler about 2 years ago, so I have absolutely no recollection of where I bought it from. I think it's a Jap Speed intercooler, but I could be wrong. So yeah, that is the intercooler that's going onto it, and then I've got all the pipe work in there for it as well. It is specifically for an R32 Skyline, so hopefully it won't have too much of an issue fitting it. But yeah, I'm going to crack on with it now and get it on. I forgot to bring my GoPro, so I'm not going to be any fancy footage of me fitting it, unfortunately. I was hoping to mount my GoPro on one of the cars and we could have filmed me doing all the work, but yeah, I forgot to bring it up with me, so yeah. So this is a standard intercooler piping, runs right down the side of one side and just goes to a small little side mount intercooler. So yeah, we'll take that off first and then we can start mocking up the front mount. So that's the standard intercooler out. As you can see, there's 2 holes there, so shouldn't have to cut too much to run the new pipes through. And it came off, yeah, pretty nice and easy. So I've got the intercooler mounted up now, and yeah, sits pretty nicely behind the standard bumper. I haven't had to cut anything, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I got a little bit of movement in the bracket, so I can move it left to right basically to get it central in the bumper. And then yeah, this is what it looks like without the bumper on it. I have basically mounted it at the top to the factory bumper support bar. So yeah, just drilled a hole here, as you can see, and mounted the brackets. I've still got to cut the brackets down. So the kit was a Jap Speed intercooler kit, but the one that I bought said that it was for an RB25, but it said that it fit the GTS-T R32 as well, but obviously the R32 didn't come with an RB25, so the piping doesn't fit. which is slightly annoying. And I'll be honest, the kit wasn't the greatest either. It yeah, it was a bit of a faff to fit, and none of the brackets or anything actually directly fitted to anything, so I had to kind of like fabricate everything anyway. So I'd have just been just as good off just buying a universal intercooler really. So the kit's been yeah, I don't rate the kit. I think the kit was a lot of rubbish. I'd been better off just buying an intercooler and then trying to make my own pipe work for it. The pipe work is just an absolute mile off, so it is supposed to, this piece is supposed to be there, like, get it somewhere near. Basically that piece is supposed to sit like that, which is about the only piece of the kit that's kind of okay. But then there's a bracket there that literally goes to nothing. And then this piece, I think it's this piece. Yeah, this piece is supposed to go up here, and it barely fits. So yeah, it doesn't really go up there. That's about as good as I can get it, but then you can see like that's the front of the car and that's the pipe. So it's an absolute mile out. It's so bad. And the other pipe coming out the other side isn't too bad, but they don't give you the pipe to go from here to the turbo, which is pretty annoying because like, you buy a kit with an intercooler piping kit, you kind of expect it to come with all the pipe, but they just expect you to use the original black pipe, which is I think is a bit rubbish, because like you've got shiny pipe everywhere else, and then you've got this random bit of old tatty black pipe down there. So yeah, I've just not been that impressed with the intercooler kit, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna have to buy a piping kit anyway now for an RB20, or I'm gonna have to get one get a pipework fabricated, which is probably gonna be the better option, because I've got a feeling I'd buy one for an RB20 and it's probably not gonna fit either. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the intercooler, but it's mounted. We didn't have to cut the bumper or anything, which was cool, because that's what I was worried about. I just wanted to get it on before we got the bumper painted, because I didn't want to end up having to cut a freshly painted bumper. So at the moment, Greg has been just prepping this wing ready for paint. So we cut the bottom bracket off, and then we've making a plate basically there, so that the bottom can be flared out, but it still bolts up to the original mounting points. And then these, yeah, it's been cut and then obviously prepped behind, ready to weld it. We weren't originally going to go wide body with it. I was going to keep it quite original, but the more I got into it, I just thought, I'm not going to sell this car. This is like my dream car. I may as well do what I want to do to it, rather than worrying about the value of the car. Just worrying about how modifications are going to affect the value of the car, really. So I'm just doing what I want to do to it. So the back arches are going to be flared as well. All again, pretty much the same method, by pulling them out and welding them rather than using a fiberglass kit. So yeah, Greg's working his magic on this. That's where the wing's at. Greg's got to weld all this one up at the moment. I'm just going to stay here for another couple of hours. Greg's gone home, but I'm going to stay for another couple of hours, just grinding down the welds on this to try and get it smooth. Basically, we're aiming for a finish like this, so it'll end up eventually like that, but it all needs filling, because obviously this bit here is sunken in a little bit. So yeah, we're working away at it, trying to end up with a finish like that all the way across. So yeah, I'm just gonna grind away at it with the sander for another couple of hours, and yeah, try and get it somewhere where I'm happy with it. So unfortunately my phone died and I didn't get to film the end, but I just finished sanding off that wing. It's still got to be filled with some weld and stuff to get it nice and smooth. So I've still got to finish that at some point. Obviously I'm working up there now, so I'm gonna hopefully make a lot more progress on it. So I'm gonna try and do an update video on the Skyline every 2 weeks or so. Basically just, yeah, do update videos rather than me doing like little how-tos and stuff like I do with the MX-5. I've got so many parts to go on the MX-5 as well, so I've got loads of videos to do on that as well. I just haven't had time because I've been working so much. So I'm gonna get some work done on the MX-5 next weekend, and do some more update videos on that as well. I've got some really cool stuff to go onto it, so there'll be an update on that soon as well. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you next one. Peace out.